On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
Off the point, man. Let me get out this shit. All right.
The thing that I was
ahead,
gonna say about that, because I, like I was saying earlier, agreed with Kayla and Anton. Like, there's two sides of this that are extreme. Like, some people portray themselves as so nice and feminine and blah 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 blah, or so manly and masculine or whatever online, and then totally different in real life, and vice versa. But I also do think that there is a space for people who are, respond differently based on the situation. Like, if you're online and people are being nice and welcoming and everyone is cool, you're cool and chill, and that's just what it is, and you're having a good time. Or in person, same thing. In person, people might be trying to come at you, and you're going to come back at them a certain way or be defensive or whatever. Same thing online. Like, I don't think it has to be one or the other extreme where people are just fake or whatever the case may be. I think it really depends a lot on the situation that people are put in.
I'm sure you are too, Anton. When you look in these YouTube comments, you really looking like, okay, you feel comfortable saying that from behind your keyboard. Like, real life, you probably wouldn't bust a grape with a sledgehammer with Welch's, you know what I'm saying, in a fruit fight with Welch's great boots on. Like, you wouldn't do that.
But really, the thing about that is that dudes that's really about that life,
they not
looking for a fight in real life. They looking to avoid the confrontation.
They are trying to avoid it.
Right? If you really about that life, you really like you walk about it. You trying to walk away.
Yeah, you don't even talk about it.
Don't nobody want to get into no fight in real life. We trying to grow old. We trying to, enjoy our families.
Be the first one to be
you might have came from that life and now you got away from it finally. You trying to be, you want to be great and you want to have a good time. Ain't nobody trying to scrap in real life. You know what I'm saying? All that tough talk is corny.
Especially those men that are really about that. Let me tell you right now.
They're not talking about it.
They're not talking about it. Ain't no argument going on. As soon as you feel that energy, like that.
A lot of people talking.
If you look at
it can turn into some violence.
One at a time, y'all. One at a time.
Hold on. If you look at Trick right now, you would think Trick is the biggest teddy bear on the face of the earth.
He the coolest dude in the world, bro. He cool.
No fly zone. Don't ever get that twisted.
Trick.
No fly zone. Don't ever get it.
Real talk. He one of the coolest dudes ever.
Who's Trick?
He a Detroit guy. But he one of the coolest dudes ever. But these dudes have been in the streets their whole life. They trying to go to barbecues and have a good time and all of this other type of stuff. Ain't nobody trying to be scrapping in real life. That's dumb.
Look, I'm gonna say this real quick, Kay, then I'm gonna come to you. And I'm actually use Rilla. Come on back, Rilla. Rilla. Ain't no break time, fam.
Rilla, come back.
Yeah. I'm gonna use Rilla and Kay and Mr. Logic. I think you got some ties with Chicago, right? No? Okay.
Down south.
Okay, down south. Okay.
So
like when I hear these conversations, and I had a similar conversation, might have been today or either yesterday, but it reminds me of people that are from Chicago and then people that are from the suburbs. You often hear people say that they're from Chicago and they're really from the suburbs, but you can just kind of tell the energy. Like they want to be associated with Chicago so bad, so you just kind of see them act a certain way. And I even had this conversation with my son. My son grew up in the suburbs. I said, man, you need to grow up like me. I said, I came from nothing. Like, I didn't have what you had. I was hooping on the basketball court with track shoes. We didn't have it. I was in a 1-bedroom cement block building with no AC. I was, trimming some of the cable from the line that was dropping from the 14th floor all the way down. I'm cutting into it. I had the washing machine inside the kitchen. We hanging our clothes up. So you don't even understand like what it feel like to be from the hood. But he telling people he from Chicago. So when I see this shit on the internet, that's what that shit remind me of. It's like, you don't even know. I had to work for everything I had. Everything I had. I don't even know what it feel like to even stunt because I ain't had shit to stunt with. I ain't had shit to fucking stunt with. I just had to come. This is all we can afford. So when I see people moving a certain way, it's like, that time it's some truth what he's saying. Like, you don't have to broadcast that shit. Like, you know what it is. You don't have to overcompensate for who you trying to be.
That's slum. We call that slumming. That's all it is.
Can I interject though? Because y'all on some. This is a good top. I mean, good interjection based on the YouTube. I respect everything everybody said though, but that's absolutely true because it plays a role into. That's why we have this internet fame. Because right now we got all these people all over probably the United States right now. Can't nobody check me for what I say, I got or do. But the thing is that a lot of people do. They present themselves to be certain type of ways. You know what I'm saying? And I got a similar black background to JR. You know what I'm saying? I had to go and get it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? To where my son don't even understand what the mud is. And that's cool. We can
And that's a
respect
good
that.
thing.
But yeah, and yeah, it is a good thing. But the whole concept I'm trying to say is that as far as YouTube, anybody can be a superhero. They can be Spider-Man.
Not no more, bro.
No, well, now because you know what? Ain't no fact checkers for nobody's lives. Anybody can be anything and anybody.
Well, that's because don't nobody use their real name no more.
Well, I'm speaking in general, but I'm saying
real name is Chicago Rilla.
There you go, that shit. But look, we don't know, but what we can tell is we can tell from people's body language. We can tell from how people show themselves and present themselves. And like I said, I'm gonna use this woman again, and no disrespect to Miss Didi, but she has shown a lot of patience on this panel that you can see that she's probably an excellent wife. And don't get divorced tomorrow and put on Instagram and prove me wrong. But I'm just saying, you can see the patience she's shown on this panel, the way she carried herself on this panel. Like I said, all you got to do to these anybody, just sit back and listen. You can listen to me and you can tell that, well, you know what? I was born in East Lake Meadows in Atlanta, the projects. But at the same time, yeah, Rilla, East Lake Meadows, they tore it down. But you can still, at that same tone, you can see the growth in me that ain't never going back.
Ever.
And my kids would never know what that is.
Never broke again.
My son was he was 10 years old before he ever understood that a police siren didn't mean somebody got hit by a car. He didn't understand that because he spent a lot of time in Korea and ain't no guns, ain't no killing, ain't none of that stuff. So when he heard police sirens, guess what he thought it was? What his environment brought to him. But I might have got all off the point, man. Let me get out this shit. All right.
The thing that I was gonna say about that, because I, like I was saying earlier, agreed with Kayla and Anton. Like, there's two sides of this that are extreme. Like, some people portray themselves as so nice and feminine and blah 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 blah, or so manly and masculine or whatever online, and then totally different in real life, and vice versa. But I also do think that there is a space for people who are, you know, respond differently based on the situation. Like, if you're online and people are being nice and welcoming and everyone is cool, you're cool and chill, and that's just what it is, and you're having a good time. Or in person, same thing. In person, people might be trying to come at you and you're going to come back at them a certain way or be defensive or whatever. Same thing online. Like, I don't think it has to be one or the other extreme where people are just fake or whatever the case may be. I think it really depends a lot on the situation that people are put in.